All right, what's up, guys? We didn't know it was happening this quickly, but the 2019 CrossFit Games season is underway, and it's only October. Crazy, right? But Wadapalooza just got recently announced as a sanctioned event, and they have released week 1 workouts. Workout 1 is as follows: 150 double unders, 60 wall balls, 30 chest to bar pull-ups, and 150 double unders. 4-time, short and sweet. What's it gonna be? Can you go unbroken? Because here's the thing, there are gonna be people that do, and plenty of people that try. Now, what I wanna do is provide some information for you guys that kind of help lead you through maybe a proper game plan, a little bit of a warm-up, some things to consider as we dive into this week 1 competition. I know that the amount of people that are gonna participate in this qualifier is a really high number, because don't forget, guys, this isn't just about the elite qualifiers. This is about everyone that's trying to get an intermediate, an RX, and even a scale division spot to the Wadapalooza event in January. And so let's open up with this. What should a proper warm-up look like for a workout like this? What I'm going to tell you to include is clearly something that is going to warm up not only the musculature that you're going to be utilizing, but a lot of the skill and the timing that's going to be necessary for this workout specifically. So without getting too detailed specific, what I would want you guys to do is spend 3 to 5 minutes of just some general warm-up and prep. And I'm talking like bike, rowing, maybe some light jogging to help warm up your feet and your lower legs. And then of course, another 2 to 3 minutes additional on just fine-tuning your rope placement, where you're gonna be putting it, doing several sets of double unders, because this is a really big portion of this workout, right? 300 total double unders may not take a ton of time, but under fatigue, if you're having a ton of errors, or you don't even know or plan when to break those things up, and if the sets for some reason just aren't clicking the way you want them to, you're gonna get left in the dust. So spend some time warming up those double unders. Another thing that we wanna do is really prep our hips and our shoulders, specifically our lats. So what I would encourage you guys to do are do a few sets, and I would set up something that's kind of like a rotation or station rotation for myself, because I'm big in dynamic warming and mobilizing, where you might do 10 yards of forward walking lunges, hop up on the rig, do 10 kipping swings, and then after that you're gonna do 10 air squats, maybe even 5 of those holding the wall ball that you're gonna be tossing. And I would say go through that 2 to 3 times. After that, you'll dive into something a little bit more movement specific. We'll actually get up and cycle several chest to bar pull-up sets. Don't go big on these. Even if you guys have the confidence you can go unbroken in the workout, I would say keep these sets between 3 to 5 repetitions to keep our grip fatigue down, so that we're not kind of starting to deplete the energy that we'll need to have success in the workout. And then the same thing with wall ball shots. Again, this is something that a lot of people overlook, but where are you gonna put the wall ball in reference to the target? How can you approach it, pick it up quickly, and get right to work with accuracy and precision on those wall balls, so we're not getting any reps taken away from us? And then after you go through a few rounds of that, what I would encourage you guys to do is make sure that we do something to break the seal. This is a fast workout, and so as you start to consider the moments as you're kind of like recovering or getting ready to set your camera up, maybe do a couple sprints on the assault bike that are gonna not quite get into lactate production, but just a surge, 3 to 5 seconds of a high volume or a high intensity sprint, and then maybe hopping off and doing a few sets of 10 double unders, something light. Just do that 2 times, take your 5 to 7 minutes of rest, feel completely ready to rock and roll, and attack this thing. Now, when it comes to attack, we've got a few different things to consider. One is, what's your max set of double unders? Because if you guys are out there and you've got the exposure to 300 reps unbroken, 200 reps unbroken, and you're confident there, I think this front end of the workout can happen unbroken for a lot of you. Now, because you can, should you? That answer is not always very obvious, so there might be plenty of you that need to game plan appropriately on when to break the rope. And if you're someone out there that's never done 100 unbroken, that struggles with 125, 150, if you know 150 is close to your threshold, like you would get to 130 and you're wobbling, or you're jumping really high, or your core is broken down, or your shoulders are really fatigued, break them up on purpose out the gate. This is gonna save you a tremendous amount of stress on your body, and it's gonna give you some mental freedom to understand that, yeah, I do get a little bit of a break, let me hold on to these last few reps. I encourage a lot of people to do 3 sets of 50. And we're talking, in a break, it's like as I finish my 49th and I land, it's 3, 2, 1, we're working, and we're back to the next set of 50, right? So it's about a 3-second or a 3-breath break as we transition into the next set. With the wall balls, I know that this is something common to a very common movement, and a lot of people have been scaling up when it comes to training. So if you've got exposure as a male to training with a 30-pound ball or a 20-pound ball for a female, these 60 reps are probably appetizing to you. Like, you're like, great, I'm gonna smoke this unbroken. And if you've got it in your wheelhouse, if you're a person that finishes carrying in 2 sets, 3 sets, like 60 is probably good for you to hit and move on to those chest to bar pull-ups right out the gate. But if you know that the wall ball and the squatting and tossing movement is a struggle for you, you're a shorter athlete, and that's gonna really smoke your shoulders, don't be afraid to break this up. And again, if you know that you need to rest or break it up, what I encourage most athletes to do is break it up into either 2 sets or 3 sets, but the sets descend as we go. And it might look like you doing a set of 35 out the gate, a set of 20 in the middle, and then a set of 15 to finish. And that's going to allow you then, or I'm sorry, not a set of 15, but a set of 10 or whatever it would end up to be, so that you have that mental freedom of, I'm chipping away at this work, and then I'm gonna actually get to have to do lesser of the volume as I go. And then the next movement's the chest to bar pull-up. Now this one's gonna be where your grip is gonna be tested in a lot of people due to the adrenaline that they're experiencing, and then also due to, you know, what we've already succumbed our grip to with the double unders and the wall balls, may run into a little bit of an unexpected limiter. So if you know 30 chest to bars are happening for you unbroken, by all means, again, execute, step up to the plate, be rhythmic, make sure that you're utilizing your hips to help save your grip so that the latter part of that 30 doesn't catch you off guard and you slip off the bar, or you need to come down unexpectedly at 27 and you thought you could go unbroken. So use those hips. The other thing is to think about breaking these up into straight up thirds, and I mean 10, 10, 10. It really depends on where your volume is and where your wheelhouse is, but if you guys could do a set of 50 unbroken chest to bars, 30 is probably gonna be realistic for you. And if not, it's either a 15-10 or a 10-10 or a 15-15 or a 10-10-10 type approach is what I would expect for most people. And again, when you plan the rest, your goal is to essentially have that 1, 2, 3, and we're right back to work type approach. That way, even if we're segmenting several of these movements with the course throughout the course of the workout being 4, if we break up every one of them, we're not costing ourselves more than 27 to about 37 seconds within the course, including some transition time. And then lastly, we're finishing with doves. And again, I know this is gonna be really tempting for a lot of people to try to just go unbroken, but if you feel like it's smarter for you to break them up and have planned breaks just like you did in the first tier or the wave. Now, the last thing I want to talk about and I want you to consider is your setup in general. And this goes as far as like, are you going to wear wrist? Are you going to wear wraps for your pull-ups? Or are you not going to wear wraps for your pull-ups? Where's the chalk in location to the pull-up bar? Where's the wall ball in location to the pull-up bar? And where are you going to set your rope? This all has to play off your camera location. If you guys are doing this workout in order to qualify for Wodapalooza and show up to win that thing, then that's really important. Make sure that you set your phone up to do not disturb or to airplane mode so you don't get any disruptions. If you're filming with another piece of technology, make sure that it is fully charged and ready to rock and roll. I've seen some crazy things happen to people and lose great performances because of that. And then, make sure that you're already anticipating what's coming next. So again, if you're not wearing your wraps until it's time for pull-ups, make sure there's chalk on your wraps already. Truly, this workout being so short and so fast, every second is going to count, especially when we consider that there are gonna be thousands and thousands of people competing with your time this week. One of the last things that I wanna kind of talk about is the repeatability of this workout. Now, you know, as well as I know, Wodapalooza is not the only qualifying sanctioned event that's taking place this week. Also, the Dubai Fitness Challenge and the movements are very similar. If you guys are doing both of these by chance, I would argue that the workouts really shouldn't be repeated, right? Some of you may be willing and may be fit enough to hit one of the workouts, have a light training day, almost a recovery day, and then hit one of the workouts again, or the different workout. But then it's just because it's so movement redundant with the squat and the press of the thruster, with the squat and the toss of the ball, and the pull up and the pull up and the double under and the double under, you get the idea. But we're likely gonna be dealing with some residual fatigue. So even though we might have 24 hours or 36 hours between these efforts, because they're so similar, it could create some problems. So I want to encourage you to go out with a great game plan, be prepared, step up and execute and do your thing. If you're only doing Wodapalooza, this workout's certainly repeatable. I would say to take at least a day off, or maybe get back to some light training again as an active rest day, focus on some pulling off the ground or something in that day between, and then give it another crack with a different game plan or a more firm mentality. But Wodapalooza week 1 should be fun. I think we're gonna see some really impressive scores, and I think that we might see a few that go completely unbroken and fast at the same time. So good luck out there, guys.